everybody, and welcome to the Echo Park Speedway for the 2025 NASCAR Xfinity Series Focus Health 250. Our second time around this season going to Atlanta. No surprise, Austin Hill on pole position alongside Sheldon Creed as we are underway here in Atlanta. Who is going to find their way here to victory lane today here in Atlanta? Will Austin Hill go 3 in a row at Atlanta? Or 4 in a row at Atlanta, or will his streak be over here as he battles with the 19 of Aric Almirola, who of course won Phoenix earlier this season, has been so strong all year long in that number 19 car in the starts he's made. Now Hill and Almirola side by side for the lead here into turn 3 and 4. Sam Mayer right there behind them in the picture. Then they're 3 wide with Allgaier, Creed. Now Jeb Burton 3 wide with Hill and Mayer for second. Almirola trying to get away with the race lead here at Atlanta. Almirola leads the opening lap here at Atlanta as we go into turn 1, and there goes the 41 as Sam Mayer sent down the track by Jeb Burton, and Almirola into the wall, and around goes the 41. Mayer around, Almirola crashing, Sawalich in the big one strikes on lap 2 here in Atlanta. A massive accident. Sam Mayer, Jeb Burton sent him in there, collects Aric Almirola. Austin Hill gets a bit of damage, huge damage to the 18 of William Sawalich, and a bunch of cars behind us go crashing, including Alfredo, Sheldon Creed's in this one, Ryan Sieg, Blaine Perkins, a whole bunch of the back half of the field collected in this one. Here's the full speed replay. The 41 just down the track and just merges right into the door slam of Aric Almirola, wipes them both out. Huge crash, takes out a lot of good cars. Parker Retzlaff involved, Kyle Sieg, Matt DiBenedetto, Brendan Poole, Brandon Jones. It would probably be easier to name the cars who were not involved in this absolute melee here in lap 2, but a massive crash to start this race here in Atlanta involving at least half the field, if not more than that. As the caution will come out with Justin Allgaier and Jeb Burton scored as our leaders to get back underway in lap 7. Somehow only one car DNF'd after that entire melee, that being the 35 of Joey Gase. Going to be out of this one in P38. Catherine Legg currently 2 laps down in 37th. Everybody else in the race and on the lead lap. As is Jeb Burton with a great restart to get the advantage over Justin Allgaier, but here comes the 54, Taylor Gray, trying to work his way in the picture. Of course, Gray has that win earlier this season, locked himself in the playoffs. Trying to continue on, there's trouble behind us, they're spinning into turn 1, around goes Christian Eckes into the wall, and down the lane goes Ryan Sieg, Dean Thompson, Alfredo gets drilled by Blaine Perkins, Almirola, Mayer involved again, as is Sheldon Creed, the 26 on his side, damage to both Sammy Smith and Connor Zilich, and a huge crash here in Atlanta. It all gets triggered by Dean Thompson turning Ryan Sieg back up the racetrack, collecting Blaine Perkins, destroying the nose of Alfredo. Big damage to Aric Almirola, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, and the other cars that were involved in that first crash were back in the danger zone once again. They get collected in this second one. So that's 2 big wrecks to start this super speedway drafting race here in Atlanta. Absolute chaos here at Echo Park Speedway. So many cars have crashed within the first 10 laps of this race. I don't even know who's left who hasn't been touched by any incidents. But you see that all the guys damaged back here. Alfredo, smoke trailing out the back of that car. He's destroyed. The 19 is destroyed. Back at the front, still the 27 and the 7 leading the field for their second restart in a row here on lap 13. Going to be Allgaier, Jeb Burton, and Austin Hill leading us to the green flag here. Allgaier to the advantage with a solid restart. See the guys out of the race now. Maggio, Alfredo, Mayer, CJ McLaughlin, Blaine Perkins, Almirola all out, leaving us with 31 cars, 30 on the lead lap. So yeah, shame for Aric Almirola, Sam Mayer, Anthony Alfredo to be knocked out of this race. Those are some cars that we thought would have been contending. Almirola led the first lap of the race. Mayer was up in the top 5 when they got crashed, and just not meant to be. And with Mayer being on the playoff bubble, that's some big playoff implications. He will have to be hoping that William Sawalich gets taken out to be able to stay above that cut line, as Taylor Gray now leads this lap, getting by the 27 of Jeb Burton here to turn 1. How about the 54 having a great start to this race here in Atlanta? Oh, and a big checkup from Gray right in the center of the corner. Massive check from Taylor Gray. Now that allows Carson Quaffle in the 1 to get to the inside of Jeb Burton as they battle for the lead down the back straightaway. Jeb Burton takes the lead here in Atlanta over Carson Quaffle. Justin Allgaier there in the conversation. How about Josh Williams in the picture? They're still leading a crash into turn 1. There goes this 0-0 of Creed. Ryan Ellis involved as well. Right here, Creed gets Ryan Sieg up into Christian Eckes. Creed gets hooked by Connor Zilich. Ryan Ellis gets spun out by Chris Wright. And then Chris Wright wipes out and collects the 25 of Harrison Burton, which is more playoff implications. Burton, another playoff guy who's trying to point his way in, but continues to get caught up in these accidents, can prevent him from doing that. And then right up here, Connor Zilic gets turned by Catherine Legg, putting Patrick Staropoli into the wall in the 24. So now you got damage to Chris Wright, Staropoli, Harrison Burton, Ryan Ellis, and Sheldon Creed, all from this one big accident here in Atlanta. Then in turn the 54, Taylor Gray got turned around because Brendan Poole, coming out of the pits, merged onto the racetrack, cleaned out the 54, dished out some heavy damage to the 18 of Williams Sawalch. And down here, Mason Massey gets hooked hard to the outside wall, destroying Jesse Love. Daniel Dye is in it. Williams Sawalch, hard crash in turn 3. This is 3 separate wrecks under this one caution. My goodness, what is going on here at Echo Park Speedway? Absolute chaos. As now that's going to take out Jesse Love out of this race, as will Mason Massey and a whole host of cars. We're down to 22 cars left in this race. You see Burton is out, Creed is out. That's another 2 guys we thought would contend today. Massey is out, Nick Lights is out, Staropoli is out, William Sawalch is out, and of course Jesse Love, one of the favorites coming into this weekend. Of course, being one of those RCR Chevys that have been so dominant here at these drafting tracks, going to be out in 23rd. His day done, and his horrible luck this season continues. So here we are on lap 20. It is Josh Williams battling Justin Allgaier, Carson Quaffle, and Nick Sanchez for the lead here at Echo Park Speedway as we try to make our way here cleanly to the end of stage 1. Now a few laps later, Nick Sanchez has the lead lap 25, but here comes the 7 of Justin Allgaier to the inside lane, and Allgaier going to find his way back to the front of the pack here in Atlanta once again, taking the lead away from Nick Sanchez here on lap number 26. He goes by the 48 machine, and now Allgaier tries to pick up another stage win on the season. He continues to rack up the points. Now here we are, last out of stage 1. Allgaier leading, Jeb Burton second, Sanchez third, Austin Hill in fourth as they go by the lap car of Garrett Smithley. Allgaier goes low, and actually he has no momentum, no help. That might cost the 7 the stage win. It's the 27 of Jeb Burton. A big run on the outside lane. Sanchez pushing him through, and Jeb Burton to the lead. Is he going to steal the stage win on the final lap of the stage? Looks like that's going to be the case, as through 3 and 4, Jeb Burton, first stage win of 2025, comes at Echo Park Speedway. Nick Sanchez, Allgaier, Austin Hill, and Carson Quaffle the top 5, followed by Josh Williams in 6th. Here comes Sammy Smith and Connor Zilic to bring home 7th and 8th. So how about that? All 4 JRM cars inside the top 8 in the stage. Smith 7th, Zilic 8th. Then you got, how about Leland Honeyman, P9, 2 points for Cope Family Racing. And then Daniel Dye rounds out your top 10. So Jeb Burton steals stage 1 from Justin Allgaier here in Atlanta. Now we go into stage number 2. Allgaier with the lead now, battling Sanchez and Jeb Burton still for this race lead. These 3 seem to have the best cars, as Austin Hill had some damage from that initial crash on lap 2. That is kind of holding him back a little bit. Now he had to restart a little ways back. You're there 4 wide. The 7 of Allgaier, your leader, is pitting. And no idea what the 7 is doing as they race 3 right up ahead of us here. And around goes the 54. Taylor Gray gets turned into the wall. There goes Nick Sanchez around. And another big wreck into turn 1. 6, 7, 8 cars piling up into turn 1 here at Echo Park Speedway. Matt DiBenedetto just tags Nick Sanchez into Taylor Gray. Hard hit for the 54. Sanchez goes into the wall, hits Kyle Segan, damages the 21 of Hill. DiBenedetto goes around. Josh Williams is collected. And another crash as we start really whittling down the amount of cars left in this race to maybe even less than 15 at this point. I mean, we're getting real. We're just taking out cars left and right, but that's a shame for Nick Sanchez. He had one of the fastest cars all day, and now he gets cleaned out in this crash. Josh Williams also had a good top 10 car. He's involved. So now Jeb Burton will be the leader alongside Carson Quaffle on this restart as we get back underway here on lap 94. So it's about going to be a 7-8 lap dash here to the end of stage 2. I see the guys out of the race now. Dean Thompson's out, Parker Retzlaff, Matt DiBenedetto, Taylor Gray, Nick Sanchez. Those 2 were really good today. Unfortunately, they're taken out from that last crash. They would be left with about 15, 16 cars. Yeah, 16 cars in this race as Justin Allgaier leads over Jeb Burton. And the stage would actually end, and I missed it for some reason, but I completely forgot when the stage ended. So Jeb Burton going to pick up the stage 2 win and sweep the stages here in Atlanta, followed by Allgaier, Quaffle, Austin Hill, Sammy Smith, Josh Williams, Ryan Seed, Connor Zilic, Daniel Dye, and Jeremy Clements, the top 10. So Jeb Burton sweeps the stages for his first 2 stage wins of the season here at Echo Park Speedway. Now back underway in the 3rd and final stage of racing. 56 laps to go. It is the JRM teammates of Allgaier and Quaffle fighting for the lead. Of course, the one of Carson Quaffle has never won. And then as well, he has that 1 win last year at Michigan here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, but he wants to win to lock himself into the playoffs here in his full-time rookie campaign. But Allgaier is your points leader, trying to extend that gap over Connor Zilisch and get his 2nd win of the season. Jeb Burton, the 27, you know he's hungry. If he wins, he goes from way below the cut line to in the playoffs, solves all of his issues as he takes the lead from Justin Allgaier here with 23 to go. Can today be Jeb Burton's day in Atlanta? We're going to find out as a caution came out, so now we have a restart as Christian Eckes had a mechanical issue out of this race. He will finish in 16th place. And now here we go, 14 to go in Atlanta, and Justin Allgaier gets a great restart, easily able to clear Jeb Burton and Carson Quaffle for the lead, and the 7 could be well on his way to victory here today in Atlanta. As Allgaier makes his way down the back straight, and here we are, white flag in the air, final lap, presented by Credit One Bank for Justin Allgaier, as he looks to complete a dominant second half of this race here in Atlanta. Just absolutely pulled away from Jeb Burton, Austin Hill, the rest of the field, lapping some guys here at the back end of the top 10. And now he's going to be bringing home his 2nd victory of 2025 and his first at the new Echo Park Speedway with the drafting package. It's through 3 and 4 for the final time. A dominant performance will be completed. Justin Allgaier dominates and wins in Atlanta. Austin Hill will be the runner-up. Jeb Burton will come home in 3rd. Here comes Connor Zilisch, 1 lap down. First car 1 lap down in 6th. Then Sammy Smith finishes 4th, and Carson Quaffle will run out the top 5. But the rest of the top 10 being a lap down. Sieg comes home in 7th. Daniel Dye comes home in 8th. Brandon Jones 9th. And how about Leland Honeyman getting a top 10 finish for Cope Family Racing? And this is a special win for Justin Allgaier, as this is career win number 20 for the driver of the number 7, leading 96 laps. A dominant statement performance here in Atlanta that he is the championship favorite. Allgaier, your winners. Look at your final race results. Austin Hill's streak is over. It ends at 3 straight Atlanta wins, but he still comes home with a 2nd place finish. Just an incredible streak of races here at this racetrack for the 21 in Austin Hill. Jeb Burton comes home 3rd, sweeping the stages and picking up the Xfinity Fastest Lap Award for the first time this season. So a huge points day for Jeb Burton. And then JRM, an incredible day. All 4 cars in the top 6. Smith, Quaffle, Zilisch, P4, 5, and 6. Ryan Sieg, Daniel Dye, Brandon Jones, Leland Honeyman gets a much-needed top 10 finishes. And see the rest of the grid, all the guys that crashed out from 16th on down. Eckes, Sanchez, Taylor Gray, Jesse Love, Sawalich, Creed, Burton, Mayer, Almirola. Now here's the updated playoff grid. Allgaier now jumps to the top of the playoff leaderboard with 9 races to go until the playoffs begin. He is tied now with Zilisch and Sanchez for 2 wins on the season. We remain at 8 winners. Quaffle, Sammy Smith, Brandon Jones extremely comfortable on the points side of things. Sam Mayer fighting for his life on the bubble, only 10 points above Ryan Sieg now, who's in the conversation. William Sawalich right there in 14th, only 18 points out. Josh Williams, Jeb Burton still within 1 race, 21 and 31 out. So it's going to be a tight bubble battle as we get down to these playoffs. Harrison Burton on down, pretty much in that must-win territory. But it's going to be very intriguing to see who's in and who's out when the playoffs begin in September. And before we end this episode, as always, I'm going to give a special shout-out to my channel members. So thank you so much to DWR, JJ, Brendan Breen, and Jeremy Isley. Really appreciate your guys' support. It means a lot to me. Helps the channel and I continue to grow and produce some awesome content. Now on a road towards 2,000 subscribers. So those of you that are watching this video and are not subscribed, please do subscribe. It's completely free. It only takes a couple of seconds, and I really, really appreciate it. And if you want to get your name shouted out here at the end of the video like these 4, a link to become a paid channel member is in the description down below. And until next week, where we'll be racing on the streets of Chicago, I hope you all have a good one.